And hello, welcome to this product seminar. I'm Dr. James Ong, and I'll be trying to find ways to explain in the most simplistic way of how this wonderful technology, as well as the other products that we have, can benefit you, so that you can make a choice, a judgment, and decide whether you will buy our products and try for yourself. All right. So without much further ado, let's get going and let's get started, because there's quite a lot to cover here. And we'll start off with the basic. All right. So Prive International, established on 1st June 2021, which means we are quite young, right? And medical disclaimers, since this is going to be uploaded and it's going to be public. Medical disclaimers: iTeraCare Classic, iTeraCare Premium, iTeraCare Pro are not medical devices. The information provided is for educational purposes only, does not substitute for professional medical advice. Please consult a medical professional or healthcare provider if you are seeking medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. All right. Now, these are the three wonderful devices that basically has taken the world by storm, I would say. And it started with the red one, which is a classic. Then we went on with the Pro, all right? And then a few months ago, we introduced the Premium. So the classic is the basic model, make it affordable so that people, have a bit of a budget problem, can also try our product. And it has proven to be quite fantastic for a lot of people, even with the classic. I mean, they have experienced some wonderful effects. And the Pro is for the professionals, just like what the name suggests, Pro. It's for wellness centers, clinics, doctors, heavy duty, and you can do it for a long period of time by blowing without having any issues, as well as durability. And it has a bigger output in terms of its terahertz capability. Then we have the Premium. The Premium is another personal use device, but the Premium is a little bit better in terms of quality than the classic. So for those of you who have deep pockets and you think you deserve something better, well, you can buy the Premium. All right, so let's get going. Now, what is terahertz? I'll be honest with you, before I joined this company, I never heard about terahertz. So what is terahertz? And I'm sure some of you who are new today probably will be in the same situation as I was before. Well, terahertz is actually a kind of wave between microwave and infrared. So we have heard of microwave, we have heard of infrared, but we have never heard of terahertz. So terahertz is something in the middle. It's sometimes referred to as the gap. All right. So terahertz frequency, well, where do you find them? Well, let's see. All right. And here we have the airport security, the scanners. That's the most common usage of terahertz technology, because it does not ionize our cells. Our DNA doesn't harm us. All right. So because the radiation is non-ionizing, it's being used. And it can penetrate through your body, your skin, reveal your whole skeletal structure, right? So if you're trying to hide a metal, a gun, it will show, okay? So it's being used everywhere, and you probably walk through it and you don't even know that you have walked through a terahertz scanner, okay? So then it's also being utilized in the satellite network 5G and 6G. When I first heard it, I said, wow, really? And then I Googled it and I said, wow, it is the truth. All right. So it's being utilized in 5G and 6G, and medical detection, also partly because it's non-ionizing. All right, moving along. Well, this device has been invented from a guy from China. All right. And every time I mention China, some of the people, have their eyes rolling. Okay. Then I like to joke about it and say, hey, how many of you have this iPhone? Well, it's made in China. Well, there you go. So not all China products are bad, all right? There are quality products as well. And this scientist in 2014, Yang Wen-jun, he invented this device, and it's already 8 years old, right? In terms of his technology. And in other words, we have a little bit of track record here, 8 years. And the initial, devices that he came up with, the first few models, they were quite expensive, all right? And now, of course, we have the cheaper version. Doesn't mean that it doesn't work better, right? It's just more affordable, just like all the other electronic devices that used to be very expensive, but now they get cheaper and cheaper. Okay, so we have now gone through a lot of clinical tests, and in China, they have gone through 62 clinical test reports issued by the Beijing Research Institute of Chemical Technology. And it's not hard, all right? It's hard to get, going through government agencies in China to get what you want in terms of reports, because they are very, very strict, okay? Those of you who deal with them, you will know. So for us to be able to get 62 clinical test reports issued by this Beijing Research Institute of Chemical Technology, well, it's huge, all right? It's really great. Now, moving along. So for us, well, we are a Malaysian company, Prive International, all right? It's a Malaysian company, and we have been given the exclusivity to market these products all around the world. Okay, now what is so special about iTeraCare devices? Well, I break it down to 4 points, all right? Features and benefits, 4 points. So the first one is stimulates the stem cells. All right, let me just go back. Stimulates the stem cells. Second one is activate the cells. Third is it's safe. Fourth is user-friendly. All right, moving on to the first one, stem cells. Well, we know our body have stem cells, but we hear more about it in terms of the medical treatment in hospitals. We know that stem cells therapy and things like that, they're very expensive, but very effective. Otherwise, what would people pay, right? So when you go to hospital in many countries around the world, even in my country, in Malaysia, they do medical stem cells, which is actually, there are many ways, all right? They can take out the mesenchymal stem cells, the fat, and then they isolate the stem cells and then put it and store it in a freezer. And then after that, they get you to come back, and then they will inject into your damaged organ. Because what stem cells do is that they will repair, all right? Repair your damaged cells, because stem cells, on its own, they are undifferentiated. But when they go to your liver, your kidney, your organs, your blood, whatever, then they become your liver cells, your kidney cells, your heart cells, get a picture? So they become differentiated. So from undifferentiated, they become differentiated. So when they become differentiated, they are able to function as the particular damaged organ's cell. So that's why it's so effective. All right, so moving along, when I first heard about this wonderful stem cell thing that terahertz can do, the first thing that I did was research, all right? So I researched and I found this wonderful document from the Russian Academy of Sciences. And then I started to Google, who is this Russian Academy of Sciences? Because I wanted to know whether the authority that I'm getting is a credible one. It's typical of a lawyer, right? So I came from that background. So I wanted to be, convince myself. And I found out, and you can Wikipedia this, Russian Academy of Sciences, they have more than 100,000 employees, and they have about 40,000 scientists. I say, wow, that's amazing. And then when I went further into what they have researched into, and then I found out that, yes, they were researching on mice, but that's good enough for me, because, not many people will go on a human clinical trial unless you are a big pharma. You register you patented your drug, and then you go for a clinical trial on humans, so that when you get the result that you want, then you get your return on investment. Get a picture? All right. So here we have the Russian Academy of Sciences. It's just for the love of science. And what they have done is that they have research on mice, and this is what they have found. And it says here, effects on terahertz radiation on stem cells. It was shown that exposure to ultra broadband pulse terahertz radiation, and I'll just move forward a little bit, 9 hours, promoted differentiation of mouse mesenchymal stem cells, right? So when you have it for 9 hours, it promoted differentiation of mouse mesenchymal stem cells. So promoted is good, right? Promoted, enhances, promoted, right? Promoted differentiation. Remember what I said about stem cells being undifferentiated? So it promotes differentiation. So is that good or bad? Obviously, it's good, right? So it promoted differentiation of mouse mesenchymal stem cells. And that was huge for me. That was huge for me, all right? And this was quite recent. If you look at the date on the top left-hand corner, it was published in 2020. All right, guys, so it's quite new. It's quite new. This terahertz in the biomed world is quite new, okay? Then somebody told me and said, oh, you know, this guy, they blew on him and he couldn't speak. And after about 15, 20 minutes, he was able to speak. I'm saying like, really? Too good to be true, right? So I researched and well, I found something. I found something from the PubMed Central, NIH. This is a US website, and this is where a lot of scientists and doctors, they publish and they get peer review. And this is what I found. And this was in 2021, December 17, all right? Published. Terahertz exposure enhances neuronal synaptic transmission. Wow. Okay, it's good to be a lawyer, right? You break down the words. Terahertz exposure enhances. So enhances is good, all right? Neurons, we know neurons. Synaptic transmission, maybe some of us may not understand. So I have taken the liberty to copy and paste here. Synaptic transmission and understanding of synaptic transmission is the key to understanding the basic operation of the nervous system at a cellular level. Without transmission, there is no direct communication between cells. There would be only individual isolated cells. The whole point of the nervous system is to control and coordinate body function and enable the body to respond to and act on the environment. Synaptic transmission is the key process in the integrative action of the nervous system. So guys, what essentially this means is that when you blow the terahertz, all right, if you notice here, it says in vitro, externally, in vitro, all right? So when you blow, it's going to enhance the neuronal synaptic transmission. It will improve the neurons' cellular communication, the central nervous system. So when your neurons can communicate with your other cells in your body, so what you think, you want your fingers to move, it will move. You want your speech to come out from your mouth, it will. You know what I mean? So this is huge. That's why the guy who couldn't speak, right, after just being blown for 15, 20 minutes, was able to speak. And we have many such cases already, okay? And it's a good thing that I covered the live stream because I get to interview some of them, all right? So this is a real amazing discovery for me. And because of these two findings, I decided to join the company. So I joined and I started in May this year, not last year, this year, okay? So second thing is, well, terahertz resonates the same frequency as normal cells, generating 100 million of vibrations per second. What this means is this. The first benefit is stem cells, the synaptic transmission neurons. I mean, these are the benefits, right? The second one is it helps our body's cells. It's a little bit like putting your cell phone to be recharged. Your cells is a little bit like that, all right? So when you look at people who are sick, people who are depressed, their energy level is low, all right? So that's why their frequency is low and they get sick, okay? And what you need to do, if you believe that we are made of energy, I'll come to that in a short while, all right? You recharge the cells and the cells are now able to work efficiently. There you go. Everything will disappear, all right? So what is resonance? Let's take a look. If it is the same frequency, it will vibrate. If it is not, look at the ping pong balls. It won't even move, all right? So if it is the same frequency, it's going to move. That's why it's very important that it vibrates at the same frequency. And that's what terahertz does when it vibrates the same frequency as our body cells. So it's able to energize it, okay? Thirdly is, well, it's safe. I mean, many people ask that, even though I tell them about the airport scanner, well, they still don't want to believe and they want to see. All right, well, you have many ways by using the EMF tester, radiation tester, you can check, you know, because electronic devices will measure right? Electrical appliances, and it will show, like this one here, the kettle, right? 1,000 plus in terms of radiation, EMF radiation. And you go on television, you go on even your cell phone and so many others, you will be able to detect. So here we blew on it, and it shows 0, it shows nothing. And I actually bought one of these things and experimented it myself, okay? And it shows 0. And then you see on the next one, also on the UV radiation test, and there is none, okay? So in terms of safety, well, I reckon it's pretty safe. Okay, let's move along. Then in terms of its ability to help, in which kind of problem, well, it seems to work very well in inflammation. Okay, it seems to work extremely well when it comes to inflammation. Now, those of us who may not know what is inflammation, well, I've taken the liberty to have this, hang on. All right, this document here to share. This is actually from WebMD.com. So that's credible, right? WebMD.com. So here it says, what is inflammation? Inflammation is a process by which your body's white blood cells and the things they make protect you from infection from outside invaders, such as bacteria and viruses. So inflammation per se is good, all right? It helps to fight all these outside invaders. But in some diseases like arthritis, your body's defense system, your immune system triggers inflammation when there are no invaders, all right? It gets confused, all right? To fight off. In these autoimmune diseases, your immune system acts as if regular tissues are infected or somehow unusual, causing damage. So, inflammation types. Inflammation can be either short-lived, acute, or long-lasting, chronic. Acute inflammation goes away within hours or days. Chronic inflammation can last months or years. Even after the first trigger is gone, conditions linked to chronic inflammation include, cancer, heart disease, diabetes, asthma, Alzheimer, and so on. So these are just some of it, okay? So if you are able to have something that can help to, eradicate inflammation, it's huge, all right? It's going to be able to really, really help your body. And that's what this iTeraCare device is pretty good at, in helping to solve your inflammation problem. And then the rest of it will just flow, all right? So I'm just going to cover on the inflammation part and highlight on that. And last but not the least is, it's simple. I mean, I've interviewed people. I mean, you just have to blow, right? I mean, there are points for you to blow. But even if you blow wrongly, it's okay. I've interviewed a lady from the United States, I believe, and she was blowing her husband with a kidneys problem. And well, the test report came, even though she blew around the region, but not in the right way, so as to speak. But the kidneys improved. All right. So yeah, don't be too technical just because it pertains to health. People like a certain protocol, because we're used to that. But you know what I think? Just blow. All right, it will help you. So instead of using your hairdryer, because hairdryer is radiation, that's why a lot of people, they've been drying their hair, with a blower, and they're blowing radiation onto their brain. Can you imagine? And that has been going on for years and years and years. So sometimes you have brain fog and you're like, oh, what's the guy's name? Where am I? Brain fog. So you know why now, right? So stop using your hairdryer. Use our device to blow your hair. Blow it dry. It will help you a lot. Okay, so these are the 4 main features and benefits that help our company and our product to sell in more than 50 countries today. Yes, more than 50 countries today. Now, this gentleman here, I'm sure everyone knows who he is. Future medicine will be the medicine of frequency. So in future, maybe if there's something wrong with you, instead of taking the pills, you just blow. Where the pain is, just blow, all right? And we have a lot of such cases already. Okay, I joined a lot of Facebook groups around the world because I'm the host of the live stream, always looking out for stories. And yeah, a lot of people like in the middle of the night and, you know, there's no way they can go see a doctor and they have this pain, that pain, and they just blow and they're able to continue with their sleep. All right. So now with this, I'm going to explain a little bit more, all right, about us humans. We are made of molecules. Our entire body is actually comprising of carbon, phosphorus, nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, you know, so on. And if you look at molecules, what are they made of? They are made of atoms, right? Then if you go down deeper into the atom and the subatomic particle, it's not just proton, neutron and electron, right? It's deeper than that, right? Apart from the leptons and so on, quarks and all that. In 2012, science have found, because of the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland, in CERN, where they have about 7,000 scientists, they spend $10 billion US. They have found in 2012, based on the theory given by Peter Higgs in 1964, they took it up and they built and they spent $10 billion US. And they wanted the collision of the particles, right? So that they can see what happened during the Big Bang. If you subscribe to the theory of how the universe was created 13.8 billion years ago because of the Big Bang. So they simulated that. That's why they call it the Large Hadron Collider. It collides, okay? So when it collides, then they can see. And in 2012, they found something. They found that all atoms beneath, right, from the beginning of creation of the atom, is an energy field. And they name it the Higgs field because in 1964, Peter Higgs was the one, together with his team of scientists, they put forward the theory, right, that everything is energy. So in 2012, they actually found, and this is science, all right, this is not woo, okay, this is science. They actually found that everything is energy. So guys, what I'm going to put forward to you is that if we are made of energy, everything is energy, the plants and everything else, right? If we are made of energy, our organs are made of energy as well. So if we have some problems within our system, our body, let's fix the energy. Let's go to the root of it and fix the energy. That's why with iTeraCare, the device, when you blow on your body, you're actually, remember the vibration? You're actually charging your cells, all right? You're enhancing your frequency. So when your cells, your frequency goes up, everything, well, your cells is able to function more efficiently, right? Number one, and that helps a lot. Then when you charge the water, which I'm going to show you in a short while, when you charge the water and you drink it, okay, that's energy water. And I'm going to show you a little experiment done by one of our top distributor in United States called Mr. John Scivola. I'm going to share with you in a short while. So let me just continue here. All right. As I said, a lot to cover. All right. So for not suitable for pregnant women, well, when you're pregnant, it's always good to consult your physician. All right. And those people with menstrual period, acute disease patient, and those people with metals. So whether they have stents, they have pacemaker or metal, different parts of their body. Well, because the iTeraCare device also has heat, so avoid the metal areas. All right. Okay, moving on. So these are the three wonderful devices. And let's start off with beauty. A lot of people, they buy this because they will benefit from the iTeraCare by just blowing on their face, and they can see the wrinkles disappear, they look younger, they have a facelift, and that's something that I think not only women but guys also appreciate that nowadays. All right, so you can blow half your face and you will see within minutes. Actually, when I blow on my face, which I do every day, and I feel the tightening, and I'm sure many of you who are members, you will know what I'm saying. So you feel that, but it's not an artificial facelift like collagen or whatever that, wears up. This one is like, hey, you feel it, it's there, okay? And it gets better and better. So face from O shape to V shape in few minutes. All right. And this lady here, I know her personally. She's from the Philippines. And she was blowing her eye because she wanted to get better eyesight. And for 2 weeks, she was blowing her eye area, both her face. And luckily, she took a snapshot of herself, a selfie, and she was able to compare 2 weeks later. And you can see the one on the left was before, the one on the right was after. And you can see the difference, right? You can see even the eye, the lines disappeared, and the sort of a facelift. And she looks younger, isn't it? The one on the left has makeup, the one on the right has no makeup. All right. So her eyesight improved, and also her thyroid, because she was blowing here, she has got thyroid problem, and the sagging of all these disappeared as well. All right. So that's a wonderful side effect, isn't it? Then this one is also someone that I know whose mother lives in New York, and she had problems eating and walking for months. All right. And they decided to, buy the device, and I was facilitating and helping them, and they bought it. And then look at this short clip. She was able to walk, right? After 2 weeks, 91 years old, Filipina living in New York. That's the voice of Thelma, the daughter. Amazing, right? So happy. She can color, she can draw. Well, basically, she got back her quality of life. All right. And let's go on. This gentleman is Mr. Eddie Luong, and he's from Vietnam. He's a good friend of mine. I've known him for years. And early this year in February, he caught something which, wow, even he doesn't know. All right. His whole lungs basically collapsed. He has a severe respiratory problem. Every minute, he was coughing out phlegm. Every minute. And his wife was carrying a container just for him to spit out. It's so hurting for me when I saw him. It's so hurting for me, right? In May and June. And in July, I introduced to him, end of July. And he used it. He blew on himself. Wow, within just a few weeks, he got back his health. And he stopped coughing. He stopped. There's no more phlegm. And today, he's just back to normal, back to the gym. All right. So that's like too good to be true. Well, this is true, guys. Okay. Because this is my friend. Okay. And he's Eddie Lung. And he's doing very well in Vietnam right now, because all he has to do is just tell his story. And many people, including myself, we actually thought that he's going to die. That's how bad it was. Even the doctors in the medical hospital sent him home because they couldn't do anything with him or couldn't do anything for him. All right. Yeah. Slimming. This is a favorite amongst women, right? Okay. So people can lose weight. Well, you don't have to go on diet, but what it does is that when you blow on your body, as I said, your cells, right? Because the frequency goes up, it's able to function more efficiently. Your metabolic rate goes up. You're able to burn. Your detox process works better. All right. So when you eat normal, you blow, you drink the wondered water, wow, your body is going to regulate itself. Okay. So no diet. Then we have varicose veins. This one, well, you can see very fast effect for varicose veins because it improves your circulation. And I did this myself in Vietnam, introduced to a lady and her mother, right, have these varicose veins, and she was blowing on the mother, and wow, immediately the results were there. All right. To see is to believe. Then this is the guy that they showed me. All right. After blowing for like 15-20 minutes, he was able to talk. Wow. So now we know why. Okay. Neuronal synaptic transmission. So this has a wide application because you're talking about stroke patient, you're talking about Alzheimer, you're talking about dementia, you're talking about psychosis, you're talking about ADHD, you're talking about anything to do with the neurons, guys. So Amazing, right? Okay. Then nowadays, unfortunately, a lot of people around the world have skin diseases. I personally believe maybe it's due to a lot of chemicals that we are using nowadays. A lot of chemicals, all right? And these allergies, skin diseases, wow, they are not only unsightly, but also uncomfortable. Well, it helps. And THz helps. I have actually helped a woman in Belgium, friend of mine, and she's got this eczema on her ear. She went to a lot of specialists, but couldn't get anything done. She bought one device, just a classic, and I taught her to where to blow the stem cells on the spine and everything, and she did exactly just that. And within 3 weeks, she sent me the photo. It disappeared. Wow, I was so happy. When you see someone gets healed, you get healed, all right, from within your soul, all right, you feel good. So that was what I did. And this one here is about clenched fist. I mean, if you have a guy or a lady who cannot, clench the fist, it's huge if they're able to do that. So this was presented to me, and many of you have already seen this, okay? Until last Sunday's live stream, let me share with you. This was the video of last Sunday's live stream. Cheryl, okay, she was featured in the United States, Michigan, and this was what happened.
Explain what's going on.
Dr. Kim owns the device, and she was blowing.
Yeah.
Wow. No pain is too small, guys. Nothing is, I mean, if you have a problem, you get it solved. It's huge for you, all right? So if you want to watch more of this, please subscribe to iTeraCare channel YouTube, right? And watch all our live stream. This was the last one that I did. Amazing. Then we have Dowager's hum, all right? And it disappears, okay? If you continue to use it. And then here we have locked shoulders or whatever, right? I mean, it's quite common nowadays, and you just blow, 20 minutes, it's gone. You're able to lift your hand, your arm, all right? So we have seen many. I've seen personally, all right? All these things happen before my eyes. Now, going forward, now going to Indonesia, look at this lady. Look at the face, look at the pain, the agony that she's feeling, the discomfort, you can see, right? And she was using this stick to help her to walk, the pain. And look at this, after 15 minutes, look at the smile. Look at that beautiful smile. She can walk on her own. Isn't it wonderful? Just once, 15 minutes. Now let's go on to Malaysia. This lady had problems just to bend down, kneel down to do her prayer. Okay. And in just 1 week, she's able to walk twice a day. Can you walk straight? Yes. Can you run? Yes. And she's showing off. She's showing off. It makes you smile, doesn't it? Okay, now, Private International, myself, we have nothing against vaccination, but this is just another story of a guy who was vaccinated and he had severe complications. His name is Kevin Street. He's from Canada, and he was covered in the live stream as well. Just quickly to show you how bad it was for him. All right, just quickly to show you. Look at that, the trembling. All right, you can watch the rest in the live stream. Just how bad it was. One injection. The thing about this guy is that he kept on a strong face and still joking, you know, but he was look at that. Balance wasn't the only problem he had. He had sores all over his body and many other things, all right? See, he's so humorous and the wife didn't think it was funny, you know?
You know what I mean?
He never asked for it, okay? But he got it. Look at that. Then they started using the device on him. Just for treatment. Look at him. Just for treatment, all right? Just fast forward a bit, okay, guys? You can watch the rest on the live stream. It's amazing. Look at this guy. He's getting his life back. Getting his life back, all right? Look at him. Okay, look at him walking normal. Awesome, right? And this other lady, same thing. And it was really, really bad for her. Really bad. Okay. I'll just fast forward. It's
like this.
It's pretty bad. Just want to show you this, all right? Look at her. In just 4 weeks. She suffered, so did Kevin, for a year. And in just few weeks, they transformed, right? Back to normal. It's amazing. This product is just amazing. Okay, we have a $1 million product liability insurance all around the world, globally. And these are a lot of wonderful, happy customers everywhere. I just want to show you this. The wondered water. All right. So you just blow on the water, on the glass, and drink it immediately. Just blow for 1 minute. Okay. Just blow for 1 minute. And this live blood analysis.
Good day,
Take a look at it.
We took a drop of blood and test microscope. We found the blood is sticking together. After that, we take 300 ml of water and we charge using the blower, which generate iTeraCare technology. It's about 2-inch distance, about 30 seconds. After doing that, 30 seconds, and we give the person to drink, and we waited for almost about 10 minutes. We test the blood is separated and beautiful.
Wow.
It's moving fast. The choice is also clean the blood and it remove all the toxin.
Okay, next, let's take a look at energy water.
Yeah. No, let's take the energy. 700%.
చూస్తారా అన్ని చోట్ల ఎనర్జీ ఉన్నది లాస్ అదే జిల్లాలో ఈయన మీద ఒక ఆయన చూస్తారు మెషిన్ చూస్తారు వచ్చినాడు ఆయన పిక్చర్ కలుగుతారండి
Got another glass? Bring the other glass. Other glass with normal water. Bring here. Oh. It's like okay. So this is normal water. So let's check the energy of normal water. They showing minus. That means this water contains no energy at all. Check the energy of temperature on water. They show 100% positive. Great. Great.
Okay. Energy water. You know what else you guys can do actually? You can just do it yourself, this experiment, by simply right you know, using this, like if you have this, all right, which I'm going to talk a little bit about it, on a glass of wondered water, and it will go around by itself, right? So I'm going to let you do it, because if I do it, then people will say, oh, you're manipulating, you're moving your fingers or hand or whatever. I'm not going to do that. So you can try and you'll find that it will just rotate by itself. That's energy water. All right, guys. Okay, so we have other products, 2 more that I'm going to talk about. And this is another amazing product to me anyway. It's amazing because it has really wonderful benefits to your body. Water is life, okay? We cannot survive without water. Some people say we have 60%, some people say we have 70% of water. Well, 60 to 70%. But 90% of our cells are water, all right? So we need water. We need good quality water. Now, there are miracle sites, water sites around the world where people queue up just to get water and drink it and have miracles happen to them. All right. These are in Lourdes, France, Lacote in Mexico, Northernau in Germany, Nadana, and many more. Right? They contain minerals, right, in these waters. And what is common, right? Because the minerals will react with the water, it produces what they call active hydrogen. Okay. So that's the common benefit from all these waters, active hydrogen. Then what is this hydrogen thing? All right, a lot of people will ask. Well, scientifically, I've dug it up and researched. Again, I like to rely on PubMed Central, NIH, because this is a US government website. And what it says here is this, okay, in 2013. Benefits of hydrogen. Hydrogen is extremely unique since it has the capability to act at the cellular level. Hydrogen is qualified to cross the blood-brain barrier to enter the mitochondria. Wow, that is the powerhouse, right, of our cells. And even has the ability to translocate to the nucleus under certain conditions. There are also few side effects. In other words, it's quite inert, all right, involving hydrogen, thus making hydrogen a perfect medical gas candidate for the convention of novel therapeutic strategies against cardiovascular, cerebrovascular, cancer, wow, metabolic and respiratory diseases and disorders. Okay, so I'm not the one who said that. It's actually from PubMed, NIH, and it's just amazing. So people with all kinds of problems, they go to hospital, they're being given the hydrogen gas, hydrogen water, and hydrogen, yeah, get the feeling? Okay, so here we have hydrogen water because the container, as you can see in the picture, it's capped tight. You put the water in it and there's minerals at the bottom, it will react. So hydrogen will be, you can see bubbles, and then because it cannot go up, it goes back down. That's why it becomes dissolved hydrogen. Because people will say, oh, water have hydrogen? Water is H2O. H2O is a molecule, it's not hydrogen. You know what I mean? H2O is H2O. Hydrogen is different, right? So H2. So hydrogen is dissolved hydrogen when it gets forced back into the water. That's why these 7Wonders has dissolved hydrogen. Okay, moving on. So we have, why do we call it 7Wonders? We have 7 benefits, all right? So I'll just quickly go through one by one. Again, you can go to our YouTube channel, iTeraCare, and you can watch a lot of videos that I have done on this hydrogen product. So the first one is dissolved hydrogen. So how do we measure? Now, I want to say this, all right, to make it clear. The longer you put, the higher the dissolved hydrogen, okay? The longer you put, the higher the dissolved hydrogen, okay? So here, you can see the dissolved hydrogen. We compare with the normal water.
7Wonders water, and let's take a quick look, right, of what is the dissolved hydrogen level. So here, as we put it in, and I'm sure you can see that the reading is 0, right? So over here, We are now going to put it in 7Wonders water. And you can see the reading is more than 1,000.
As I said, the longer you put, the higher the reading. Okay, so you can drink it. If you want a higher hydrogen, we just leave it a little bit longer. Okay, now moving on. The second one is the oxidation reduction potential. Let me explain this. Oxidation, is it good or is it bad? Well, it's not good because if you cut the apple, slice it into half, it's going to get brownish, right? So that is oxidation, that is aging. So oxidation reduction, that is good, right? Anti-aging or anti-aging. So oxidation reduction potential is ORP. If the reading is more negative, it shows that the water is less contaminated. If the water is more positive, then it is very contaminated. So if you look at soda drinks, like you have plus 500 for soda drinks, you get tap water, it goes down 200 mineral water, right? And then you go to the negative zone, you have like orange juices, right? And then you have green tea, which is, we know all these things are good stuff. Cod liver oil, negative, well, we know it's good as well. Then you go on to our 7Wonders, and the longer you put, the bigger the negative ORP. Okay, so antioxidant level is very high when the negative is very high. So let's take a look at our product and what is the reading?
In the ORP, it means that the water is more contaminated. If you have a negative reading and the more negative it is, then it is less contaminated. So you want to have for good quality water, negative reading. So let's see now, what is the reading on this normal water? I guess you can see it's a positive reading, right? And then when I transfer it here, it will show you a negative reading. So here it shows that the ORP, or oxidation reduction potential, is definitely much better in 7Wonders water.
All right, moving along. Next is the pH. You know, the kind of food that we take, coffee and stuff, meat and everything, they are acidic. Our body, the pH should be 7.35 to 7.45. Okay, slightly alkaline. If you were to consume a lot of fruits, vegetables, that's fine, that's alkaline. But the problem with our daily diet nowadays is we don't consume enough fruits and vegetables. Am I right? So we, on the contrary, if you look at lower down, you have all these things from yogurt, egg, fish, meat, everything, you know, sugar, and it goes on. They are all acidic. So our body needs help. So we need to balance it. Okay, so the pH balance of our water is alkaline. So let me just share this with you.
Make a few drops. And I'll just quickly stir it.
Okay.
So you can see it's very obvious that this one is a little bit acidic and this one is alkaline.
Then next, microcluster. Well, this is interesting because water comes in clusters, okay? And microcluster means it's able to absorb better, right? The molecules are smaller, so it's microclusters, so it's better to absorb the nutrients that we consume. So how do we show that? Well, in our experiment here, we use chrysanthemum. We use chrysanthemum. Show you the temperatures about the same, so that we're not cheating here with something hotter. It's going to dissolve better. So chrysanthemum is placed on these two different water.
Okay, in equal amount, approximately. Maybe put a little bit more. Okay. All right. And then we'll just give it a quick stir. think it is fairly obvious, isn't it, right? It is fairly obvious that the one on the right, which is our 7Wonders water, the result is that it shows that it dissolves much better.
All right, then we move along to number 5, antioxidant. Well, we know that oxidation is not good, so antioxidant is good, isn't it? So how do we prove that? Well, let me share with you.
Very.
Okay, we use iodine. We use iodine. And you can see the color.
Now it is very, very obvious if you can just compare the two. So this one is, obviously, it has antioxidation property. Now, to make it more convincing, right, I'm going to put this, right, something that people love, and we're going to add some more.
Instant noodle, right?
And see what happens. Okay. Give it a good. So you can see, right? You can see this one here has changed. The oxidation process has definitely occurred, right? And clean glass. And now I'm going to transfer this over here and pour our water. So this is what we have.
Okay, right. Now, the next one is mineral water. If we are energy, right, our body, and we need to energize ourselves with mineral water because it will be able to, help in terms of transferring energy from our cells, right? So we want mineral water to be in our body. So this is how we show you.
Into our 7Wonders glass.
So to speed up, we just use warm water. We pour it in so that the minerals will dissolve faster.
A little bit of shake, a little bit of time. And pop this one in. And you can see the light.
So mineral water is a conductor of electricity, right? So we are energy and it will be able to conduct much better. Now, last but not least is antibacterial. Okay, so this is 7Wonders water and easy to drink, easy to prepare. Just pour either hot water, warm water, or normal water, and you want the higher hydrogen level or higher negative ORP, just leave it a bit longer. All right, and then you just constantly drink it, and it can be used for around 500 times before you have to change the minerals. Okay, so that is 7Wonders water. And then next, well, look at this one here, the one that I'm wearing, same color as well, right? So this one is very effective because there's a lot of positively charged particles in the air. Okay, and negative ion is actually it produces this ion shield 60 million per cubic centimeter. Can you imagine? Per cubic centimeter is so small, and it has 60 million negative ions, concentrated, highly concentrated. Well, how do we prove that, right? How do we prove that to you? Well, very, very simple experiment, and this is how you show it. So you have a cigarette smoke, place it in a glass. That's it. It will neutralize it, okay? It will neutralize it. And this is to show the efficacy of having negative ion around us. I mean, you can find negative ions in waterfall areas, in the forest after the rain, and in the beach area and all that, but we don't have the luxury, not all of us anyway, to live in those areas. We live in the cities, and in cities, we have what we call haze and all the pollutants. Okay, so we have to live with it, and that's why you cannot, bring your purified device or purification device at home with you and carry everywhere with you to protect you. But you can just hang this around you. At least this way, you will be able to protect yourself, all the things that you breathe in. Okay, so these are the 3 products, and like I said a while ago, I want to share with you of the Wondered Water, the experiment, and this is about 3 minutes, and it's by our lead, top distributor in the United States, Mr. John Scivola. Just watch this and decide for yourself.
Now they're making that connection. Now, Susie, move to your right. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Now, if you'll notice, you're following her. Keep going. Okay? And I'm not manipulating these. They are connected with her quantumly. So move back towards the piano. Keep going. All right. Now you can see right there. Okay, so they have established a quantum connection here, quantum entanglement. So now I'm going to move backwards and see how far her energy field goes out. Right about here. How far is this, if you say? 6 feet?
I'd say a little bit more.
Okay. So now, we're right about here. Okay. So now I'm going to let Susie drink some THz water. Okay. Let's put this in the back. I'll be right back.
Tastes good.
Okay, so they determined that her energy field was extending about 5-6 feet. Lose connection right here. Right up here. So that demonstrated, I think we extended how far?
About three more.
3 extra feet in her energy field just from drinking a little bit of the charged water.
You be the judge, all right? I'm not going to convince you. I just thought that this scientific experiment is pretty interesting. At least people, believe in science, and he's able to show with the device, all right? So, yeah, thank you so much for being with me today in this product seminar, and I hope that I have enlightened you in some ways. And if you would like to try our product, well, I suggest that you go get it, all right? Because ultimately, you just have to try it, to see the result. And there are already so many wonderful testimonials out there. And sometimes it's just like people will say, oh, it's too good to be true, but it is true. And even those things that some people find it like impossible to heal or whatever, and what we're doing is we're not making any claims, but what we're doing is mainly charging your body, right? Increasing your frequency, and then the rest of the things will just fall into place. Okay, so thank you so much, and yeah, hope to see you all again soon, and and definitely if there are any questions, you can also send to me, Dr. James @priveintl.com. Bye.